Welcome everyone to our session on managerial approach to business analytics. At the core of our topic of this discussion, there is business. So first of all, we will be defining what is business, even though it is very common word. You will understand from our definition why it was necessary to do so. Business is an organized entity that produces and sells goods or services to meet the societal needs with the primary goal of earning profit and generating income. Now, as you look at the definition, you will understand the importance of every component of the definition. As, for example, business is an organized entity. It has to be organized entity. You cannot keep on purchasing so many things and selling the things at your wish and will. You employ some persons and keep them idle, and whenever you feel like telling them some work, you tell them some work. Otherwise, and you keep on paying them, and sometimes you don't pay them. You cannot do the things in the business in unorganized way. There has to be some consideration, rational consideration of everything, and that is why business is an organized entity. It that produces and sells goods. There are many activities in something we do, but in business, producing and selling, for that matter, selling is very important in the business. There are many other things, like for example, purchasing. If you just keep on purchasing and do not sell, then it doesn't become a business. For example, at home, you purchase so many things, but you don't sell anything as such in the business. Okay, right? You do not sell the goods which are prepared in the home at the home, or you do not sell the services, so that keeps your home as home and doesn't make it as business, right? So another component which is important as far as the business is concerned, it is producing and selling goods or services. And then if you sell the goods or services just to one or two, then the needs of one person or two persons will be satisfied, but it won't satisfy the needs of society at large. So again, that activity of yours wherein you sell goods and services just to one or two doesn't make it as a business. It has to satisfy, it has to meet the needs of the society. Then the primary goal of any activity which you do, for example, business, primary goal is to earn profit or generate income. So once again, I'll be reading the definition so as to help you keep various components of the definition in mind. It is an organized entity. It has to be that produces and sells goods or services to meet the societal needs with the primary goal of earning profit and generating income, right? Now, another word which comes in our topic is analytics. Now, analytics was not existent earlier. There were many other things associated with business. Nowadays, analytics has become important, and that's why you have chosen this course, right? There is one श्लोक in ऋग्वेदा, सृष्टि से पहले सत नहीं था, असत भी नहीं था, अंतरिक्ष भी नहीं था, आकाश भी नहीं था. The meaning of this saying in the Rigveda is there was nothing before the Srishti existed, and neither there was need of anything which was not existent that time. And this is very important. Okay, what was existent before analytics? There must have been something before analytics, right? And if analytics was not existent, there was no need of analytics that time. For example, mobile has become a necessity of the day. Everyone needs it at various instances of time, and its absence is seriously felt. If you do not have mobile at your hand, then you are seriously affected. But when there was no mobile, you didn't feel the need of mobile. Okay, now that there is analytics and it is existent around, you also seriously need the analytics. There is a serious need of analytics. Okay, so all in all, what is important, as far as this sloka of Rigveda is concerned, that if something is not existent, then we do not need it. Okay, we do not feel the absence of it. But if something is existent around, then we feel the absence of it. We seriously feel the absence of it. Now analytics is there. Analytics is existent all around us. So absence of it is seriously felt, right? Now coming to the managerial approach, we have discussed about business, we have discussed about analytics, particularly as far as analytics is concerned, we discussed about absence of it. By absence of it, we have tried to know what the presence of analytics mean to us. Then coming to managerial approach, the past manager often relied on gut feeling or intuition. Most of the decisions they used to take were based upon their intuition and their feeling, gut feeling in particular. In this course, we'll explore how managers can harness data to make smarter, faster, and more impactful decisions. Right? Don't worry, we don't need to be coders, because when we talk of data, someone of you will start feeling that we will have to analyze the data, and for analysis of the data, we will need coding. Okay. You don't really need to be coders, but in this course, we'll be seeing some codes which really don't need you to be serious coders. You also do not need to be data scientists. Our focus is the managerial lens, right? Now, as I said, that we will be dealing with analytics part of the business. Our course is business analytics. Before business analytics, there used to exist what is called as business intelligence. Before there, parallelly, we are seeing data science in existence. Before business analytics, there used to be management information system. In management information system, uh, the raw data used to get entered in the um, database. Various kinds of database used to exist, and the number of databases have increased nowadays, depending upon the various facility they provide. In earlier days, there used to be the DBase, Foxbase, FoxPro. There used to be Oracle. Oracle still exists, and it is having more facilities than it used to have earlier. Okay, there are MySQL, SQL Server, and there is Mongo, which is NoSQL database, and you may explore the list of database if you get interested in. Okay, so we used to enter the data in various tables, and by structured query language, which we call as SQL, we used to retrieve the data, and data used to get shown in various kind of tables and reports, from which the managers used to take the decisions, draw out some inference, and they used to take the decisions. Okay, SQL also helped them in taking the decisions. SQL used to give the data in a summarized way, in an aggregated way, and from that aggregation, from that summarized report, the managers used to take the decision. Okay, at various levels of management information system, various levels of management, you used to get different kind of information. All right. Then um, business intelligence came in, where which is signified by the presence of a dashboard, which used to give you the information of the various aspects which used to be important as far as business is concerned, like what is the sale today, how many customers have entered in various business components, business shops or business stores, how many of them purchased, what were the sales. These things are displayed as at real time. As the data gets entered into the system, you get the information about various constituents on the dashboard, which help managers to make the decisions almost real time, very close to real time. Okay, because all this information becomes available to them as the data gets entered. BI is about describing what happened in the past, and the important component, important output of BI is dashboard and report. In short, right? Business analytics is about explaining why the thing happened. It is more contemporary, or it talks more about future. It is futuristic. BI used to tell us about what happened. BA, business analytics, is about explaining why the thing happened and predicting what will happen next. And this is really very important for the business, right? If we know the things beforehand, before they happen, we are in the position of doing better planning, better decision making, better execution, and so on. Data science go deeper. Using go deeper means in data science, there is a use of complex algorithm, there is a use of artificial intelligence, there is a use of machine learning, and one doesn't have to do much in using data science because many algorithms, because of AI and Chat GPT, even though they are complex, can be very easily put into the code. Their complex algorithms have been simplified for the coders. Algorithms are complex at the back end, but their use has been made very simple, right? As manager, we sit here in business analytics, turning our data into action, right? Now we'll be more digging into business analytics. We have seen the things around business analytics, before business analytics, and besides business analytics in the form of MIS, in the form of business intelligence. These are the things which existed before business analytics. Because of that, only much of the data was gathered by various business intelligence systems, right? MIS. The thing parallel to business analytics is data science. We will now be looking at business analytics. At the core of business analytics, or BA, is the practice of using data and analysis to make better business decisions. Okay, the purpose of this lecture is to make you conversant with various terms which come in our session, right? So you are in better position to talk about business analytics. Once again, at the core of business analytics, or BA, is the practice of using data and analysis to make better business decisions. It is not just about reports, it is about going step further, finding patterns in the data, predicting future outcomes, and prescribing the actions. Right? For us as a manager, it is less about writing code and more about asking the right questions from the data. Okay. It is not what you know that matters, but it is how you use what you know matters. Okay. Right? Why do I say BA exists all around? And now it has become the need for the one who is in business. Okay, how many of you have not used Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Paytm, YouTube, and more such things? Many of you are using many of such applications on mobile, right? Did you notice how these apps seem to know what you want? Like Zomato is showing your usual order and Amazon is recommending you the product, right? That is business analytics at work. Okay, you must be wondering how it is, how Zomato is showing you your usual order and Amazon is recommending you the proper products, because it has collected your orders earlier, and depending upon some analytics you are recommended the products, right? That is a business analytics at work. Today we will uncover how it shapes modern business, right? Now we will be seeing the chronology in which various things have come before our business analytics. Decisions were not always data driven. Earlier, managers often relied on gut feeling or intuition. In 1980s, we had report, MIS reports. MIS used to be a great system in 1980s, in which in various tables the data used to get entered, and from that data we used to get reports in terms of basic facts, and that was enough those days. In 1990s, business intelligence dashboard improved reporting. Okay, let me show whether I have the dashboard sort of thing, right? I think, mm, yeah, there is a Google dashboard, right? It is loading. Now you see various things which are coming in the Google dashboard. In your Google Drive, you have 300 plus files, and as you go on, as I go on adding the files, this number will go on changing in real time. and there are 47 shared files on in my Gmail. There are 74,737 conversations. This is too much for me. 74,465 is in inbox. 505 I have sent much less than what I have received, and this helps me in taking the decisions. Right? Right. Just a minute. In taking the decisions, there are many other things like what is my interaction with YouTube, what is my interaction with Google Play, in photos, in maps, in calendar, and so on and so forth. This is called as dashboard. Okay, this is however the dashboard of big company like Google, and I as a user of the Google, what is my interaction, real time interaction with the Google, that is shown to me in short. Right? That is shown to me in short. Just a minute, I will have to go back to my transparency. Okay. Then coming on, in 2000s, the big data, because as you see, various things have been digitized. Google, everyone is interacting with Google, searching and getting the information from Google. Various people are interacting with Gmail and so many other things. Okay, and the data which is collected by the Google is in terabytes, petabytes, maybe on an hourly basis. Okay, so this data, it is a challenge for Google to deal with this data. Okay, so the data of the extent of terabyte, petabyte, we will be calling it as a big data. And querying that data is not as easy as easy as querying the data from our small database. Okay, there are different tools to deal with big data, and business analytics came in 2000s. It started in 2000s, transformed how the companies compete, because business analytics not just gave the futuristic actions, but they predicted how the things will go ahead, what will be the demand, and how the business will change ahead. Right? Today, with AI and real time analytics, decisions can be made in seconds. Right? So why does this matter for you as a future MBA? This, as we have been saying, that this is more of a step to which is with which computer science people or other engineers have to do. Then what is the role of MBA? Let us look at it. Right? Why BA matters for MBAs? First, decisions are faster. Means there are few things we will be seeing. What is the importance of business analytics for MBAs? Okay. First, the decisions are faster and more fact based. Imagine you are marketing manager, data tells you which campaign works best. You may have different plans, so evaluating, assessing the effect of various business plan may turn out to be the difficult thing for you, but business analytics will do it easily for you. It will tell which campaign will work best for you. Right? It will do the analytics, it will do the simulation, and it will tell you which campaign will work best for you. Second, analytics is now competitive weapon. Everyone is using analytics. Okay, firms that ignore face the risk of falling behind. Right? Those who do not have mobile will be away from many facilities mobile is providing. Okay, so that intelligent student may fall back because he doesn't have mobile and he is not able to use Google Classroom. He is not able to use Google Information Center. He is not able to use Chat GPT because he doesn't have mobile. The same way, those who are not using business analytics will be facing the risk of falling behind. Right? Third, career growth. Recruiters look for MBAs who are data savvy, not just theory savvy. Earlier, MBAs used to learn various philosophies of management, right? Various ways of doing the administration. But now, the MBAs who are data savvy are getting more attended than the MBAs who are theory savvy. Can you think of one company that has lost out because it didn't adapt data? Okay. Uh, if you recall, there used to be a big company, Nokia, right? Nokia used to be market leader, and now it has turned to cautionary tale. It is the story by which one certain but businesses are cautioned, don't go the way Nokia has gone, right? Once a king of mobile phones, Nokia controlled more than 40% of the global market in mid 2000s. Customers loved its durable handsets. But when the smartphones emerged, Nokia leadership relied on the gut feeling rather than analytics. They believed users didn't want touchscreen devices and underestimated iPhones. Data from early market showed the customers shifting, but Nokia ignored the signals. What was the result? Within a decade, Nokia lost the dominance. Analytics could have told them the truth, but they chose intuition over the insight. Okay, now you see Nokia nowhere in the market; it has gone. Now still it is struggling to come back in the market by providing by producing even the small handsets today. But now they lost glory. It is very difficult for them to regain back. Another story is of Kodak. They're missing the digital revolution. Actually, Kodak literally invented the first digital camera in 1975, but the management worried the digital would hurt the film business. Kodak also used to, in addition to camera, it was the leader in the film business, which used to capture the photographs and the videos, right? Analytics of the customer behavior, that is, younger users experimenting with the digital sharing, was ignored. Kodak clung to its traditional business model instead of adapting to the new business needs, new needs of the youngsters. Competitors like Canon and later smartphone makers captured the digital wave. What was the result? Kodak went bankrupt in 2012. The data-driven outlook would have transformed it to a digital imaging leader, but their intuition, their gut feeling, and their emotions um, threw them out of the competition and led them to be bankrupt. Flipkart is the success story. On the other hand, let us take the homegrown example of Flipkart. They realized that the recommendation drive sale. As we know that if I recommend that movie is good, this phone is good, right? This TV is good, based on the recommendation, and the people purchase. They realized that the recommendation drive the sale. Flipkart didn't copy Amazon. Amazon was the market leader in the supply chain business, purchasing from various suppliers, vendors, and selling to the customers, right? They build the recommendation engine tailored to Indian customers who are price sensitive and wait for discount. Analyzing browsing and purchase, uh, analyzing browsing and purchase data, right? Flipkart launched Big Billion Day sales, carefully timed around Diwali based on sales trend data. Predictive models help them stock the right inventory, reducing the stockouts during peak sales. And that led to the success of Flipkart, Amazon, as it is the success, even though some stories might be coming to you that they are having the loan of so and so much, but mm, mm, their market share in their own business is huge. Even the Flipkart is the second referred company. When you see frequently brought together, and you might also like this, that is analytics boosting the sales. Data drives customer satisfaction and revenue. Could Flipkart have survived against Amazon without analytics? No. Think about personalization, customer loyalty, and experience. Right? Now, this is a question to you. Of course, I myself will be answering um, this question for you on your behalf. The question is, list two, three apps you use daily. How does these apps use data to serve you better? You may pause here and think of some apps and answer the question in what way these apps use your data and serve you better, right? So here are some apps I'm giving you: Spotify, Ghana, Geo7, right? What is the data? What data is used? Songs you listen to, playlists you create, skips and like. You may skip some of the song that is also captured by all these applications so as to eliminate those songs from something they later provide to you. Okay, how they serve you better? Daily mix. They provide discover weekly playlist, then song suggestions matching your mood. Then they also provide localized playlist, sometimes Bollywood hits or sometimes regional songs, right? Another app which you use is Google Map. This is frequently used, right? What data is used? Real-time location data from millions of users is used, right? And in what way that serves you better means in those millions of users, you are also the one, right? In what way they serve you better, predicts the traffic jam and suggests faster route, right? Because the Google Map is collecting the routes various users are using, and particularly the users on your route. If they are more in number, you are informed about it by showing orange color or yellow color or red color on your route, predicting, informing you about the traffic jams and suggest thereby it suggests you the faster route, recommends nearby restaurant, petrol pumps, ATMs, etc. Because Google Map is capturing your moment, and it also has the information about the restaurant, petrol pumps, and ATMs, and all such various locations. And travel time estimates for cars, bike, public transport. You see all these symbols, and if you are using car, it will be showing you different time estimate. And if you are using public transport, bike, you are shown a different time estimate, and it is not all the time same for the same route. Okay, because it captures the traffic jams at various locations on your route, and thereby it suggests you the time, right? Then the third app which you use is the Paytm, PhonePe, GPay, all these fintech apps you use. Dream, right? What data is used? Your bill payments, recharge history, transaction patterns, all this data. Because whatever interaction you are doing with these apps, it is using it for analytics purpose. And in what way all these apps then serve you better? Reminds you for the due bills, right? Particularly, you may be getting the reminder for electricity bills. That electricity bill has arrived, and because it you get the bill on certain date, and accordingly that date is captured by the phone pay, Google Pay, etc. applications, and it reminds you for the due bills. Cashback offers tailored. Another thing by which you are helped by all this fintech app is cashback offer tailored to your spending habits. And then fraud detection, very important, fraud detection through usual transaction alerts, right? If sometime unusual transaction takes place, like for example suddenly you are spending say in thousands, and suddenly there is a withdrawal or payment of something like lakhs of rupees from your account by this app, that will be signaling you of some fraud happening. Okay, that will alert you. Then there is Netflix, right? Hotstar, all these streaming applications. What data is used? Shows you watch, genre you like, time you spent viewing certain show. Then in what way this data is utilized, right? From all these applications, you try to understand that some of your data which you think that it is insignificant for you, that is gathered by all these applications for doing the analytics and providing better service for you and helping their business to grow, right? So the data of your watching and kind of the things you watch, time you spend watching, is utilized for creating the personalized watch list, the predictive recommendation, because you have watched something, you may like to watch something of that genre, then adaptive streaming quality based upon the internet speed. If your internet speed, because it will be capturing the speed at which you have been watching various things. So well, the streaming is adjusted with the internet speed you are getting at your place, right? So this is all from lecture number one. I'll be continuing with lecture number two in this video only. I may be clubbing one or two lectures in one video. There are all in all eight. Once you become conversant with the vocabulary, then the things which you will be listening to or watching ahead will become comfortable to you, right? Now, framework for data driven decision making, very important thing for the manager is the decision making. All other things manager does are planning, executing, monitoring, again taking decisions, and this cycle runs. Now, the decision earlier he used to take based upon intuition or gut feeling. Now it is data driven. Okay, so we will be looking at the framework. There are various frameworks. We will be looking at them at various points of time, right? Think of some last big decision you made. Okay, did you rely on intuition, advice, or data? Earlier, you used to rely on intuition or advice. Okay, now you rely more on data. Maybe your decision may be concerning to buying a phone, choosing the internship, or picking the holiday plan, right? This is about you I am talking. Now, if this job is to be done by the managers, which job? Decision making job is to be done by the manager, then he will be facing the same thing, but he will be facing that thing with his decision will be at stake for millions of rupees and thousands of customers. Okay, you are taking the decision for you alone and with a little bit money at the stake, but the managers are taking the decisions for thousands of customers and millions of rupees at the stake. So the decision making for the manager is very important thing, and that has to be data driven, as we will be seeing ahead. Okay, so there are various models of decision making. One important is Simon's model or Simon's model, you may say. This Siemens model or all these decision making model are not new, but they are organized well, right? Herbert Simon's four-step model. Okay, very first step is intelligence or identifying the problem, right? Second step in the decision making process is design. Explore alternative. Once you get the problem, you will be exploring various alternatives of for solving that problem. Okay, you will have number of alternatives, and you must have seen some other decision making models wherein the steps are similar. The names given to those steps are different, may be different. So another step is explore alternatives. And after you have the alternatives, what you will be doing, you will be choosing the correct alternative choice. Select the best option. And lastly, then action, implementation, put it into action. IDCI. Okay, IDCI. Right. These are the common steps which are used in decision making. Okay. First, identify the problem, generate the alternative, select the best alternative, and put it into action. Intelligence, design, choice, and implementation, right? Analytics support each stage with the better data and insight, right? All right. I'll be giving you the examples of each of the stage. For example, you have identified certain problem. What kind of problem? A retail chain noticing declining footfall. Okay, So you started exploring the causes by the data, by the reports you are getting every day. You have realized that there is a decline in the footfall. Okay, less number of customers are visiting the mall, right? Then you will explore various alternatives. You may provide discount, you may advertise, you may think of different pricing strategy, you may provide new features and so on and so forth. Okay, you will have various alternatives. Then by evaluating these alternatives, what you will be doing, you will be choosing one, because you may not be in position to work on all of them, right? So choose a new pricing strategy. This is just for example. Okay, if you evaluate and it turns out that providing discount will turn in raising the footfalls, then you may choose that. Okay, right now, just to suggest you the example, choosing a new pricing strategy. Yes, suppose say the alternative chosen, right? Then what I'll be doing, I'll be running a marketing campaign. Okay, wherein I'll be advertising new pricing strategy. This is implementation in different scenarios, in different situation. The Simon's model can be accordingly tailored. Okay, but the basic steps remaining same. That is identify the problem, that is intelligence. Then explore the alternative, that is design. Select the best option, that is choice, and put it to action, that is implementation. Then there is another model of decision making. Okay, this uh, this is called as DICA model or DIKW model, right? D stands for data, I stands for information, K stands for knowledge, and W stands for wisdom. And here, finally, because I do not have to stay on wisdom, I have to take the action. So I may sometimes use the word called as action in place of wisdom. Okay, so DIKW and DIKA are same thing as such. Okay, data is something raw data you collect, and from that raw data you will be drawing out the information, and from the information you will be drawing out the knowledge, and that knowledge will be providing you the wisdom and the way to act. Okay, here it goes. Data raw facts, that is sales numbers. Okay, customer coming to your store and purchasing something. Okay, every details of the items he has purchased will come under, and the name of the customer and other such details about the customer will come under raw data. Okay, information, organized data. In this information, I am not much interested in whether the Suresh has purchased or Ramesh has purchased or John has purchased or he has purchased jaggery or the plastic ball or the bat or cloth. I will not be interested in individual purchase of the customer. I will rather be interested in how much clothes, how many clothes were sold, how many customers entered into the shop, and what is the per person sale or something like that. I hope you understand. Weekly sale trend. Okay. Then knowledge. It is something, some insight based upon the information I have collected. For example, the sales has dropped in North region. Okay, and it has significantly increased in the eastern region. Okay, so this is some knowledge. Okay, then coming on to action, managerial decision based upon the knowledge. Okay, so as the sales has dropped in north region, let us launch a regional campaign, right? And maintain the status quo, maintain the status in the eastern region because their sales have increased, or maintain the sales there, increase the effort in northern region, right? Analytics is the bridge between the data and action. Okay, we start our journey from data, data converts to information, information converts to knowledge, knowledge converts to wisdom, but I have replaced it by action. I can maintain wisdom, and that wisdom I can turn to action. Okay, I do not have Excel sheet here, but I hope you have understood what I mean. Okay, now there are different types of analytics, right? This might have been discussed with you in the earlier class. Okay, while starting from information to optimization, you go through various levels of analytics. One is descriptive analytics, which stands for what has happened. Then descriptive analytics means the analytics which mostly deals with the past information. Okay, I'll be simultaneously having the more details of descriptive. There are four types of analytics: descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Okay, mostly, though I am saying about four, okay, people normally refer to three: descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. Okay, so another, but doesn't matter if I have the fourth insertion in between. You may also have that insertion, right? Descriptive analytics will be telling you what has happened, okay, and how it will be telling you from the sales report. One will come to know that footfall have decreased, or ICICI Bank's monthly report will be telling you how many loan cases how many loans were disbursed this month, whether the number of loans have increased or decreased. Then another question obviously will come to your mind is why did it happen? That is diagnostic analysis. Okay, whether it be business or whether you want to sort out any of your issue, maybe you are suffering from some ailment, okay, some sickness. Okay, these are the kind of analytics you will be working in a sequence. First of all, what has happened, then why it has happened, diagnostic analytics. Okay, okay, that is root cause analytics. We will be finding the causes of what has happened. Okay, like there was a problem with Swiggy. We will be discussing it ahead, right? They were not able to deliver the orders to the customers in time. They were delaying. The Swiggy was forced to analyze late deliveries to the customers. Okay, so by doing this, what they are doing, they are diagnosing the reason of what has happened, right? Then predictive analysis. Okay, what will happen? Okay, based upon what has happened, why has happened, predictive analytics. Okay, that is forecasting the demand. Okay, in case of business, we'll be more interested in forecasting something. May it be demand. Okay, may it be sales or whatever, anything we want to forecast. Okay, like Ola predicting the surge in demand. Okay, there are number of vehicles they are having at their disposal or um, in their at their service, right? But suddenly there is a program which is coming ahead, and there will be program which is coming ahead, or the trend will show that the demand of Ola will increase, right? Then once this has been predicted, forecasting has been done, then what should be done? What should we do? That is prescription. Like the physicians do, they will be first describing, they will be doing prescriptive analytics, then diagnostic analytics, then predictive analytics, and then they will be prescribing the things. What should we do? Okay, recommend what, for example, various alternatives are thought upon, then best alternative is chosen, and accordingly that work is done on that. Recommend best pricing strategy, for example, Flipkart recommending the certain kind of promotion. Okay, these are various types of analytics. Once again, you may go back in your video and refer them back. I am revising it for you: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. All right, then um, we'll be seeing different examples. Uh, HDFC Bank Credit Analytics. Okay. Problem: how to decide who gets loan? There are many loan cases coming. Okay. And it has become very difficult to take the decision based on intuition or gut feeling. Okay. Now they need data analytics because the number of cases have increased, and the decision is to be taken at faster rate, because if someone doesn't, if to someone you don't grant the loan, you do not accept his loan case, then he may go to some other banker and take the loan from him. Okay, decide quickly while avoiding fraud. And if you work on the loan cases very fast, then what may happen? You may end up facing certain fraud situation. Okay. Earlier in manual, there used to be manual judgment, okay, which led to delays and sometimes by some customer you used to give the loan, and to some other better customer you used to deny. I mean, just DFC used to deny the loan, right? Now, what is happening? They analyze the spending pattern from the credit cards and digital transactions the customers do. Okay, their CIBIL score. Okay, CIBIL. What is that CIBIL? Credit Information um, Bureau India Limited, right? CIBIL score. They collect this complete digital transaction and their credit information, loan repayment information, and accordingly they find out certain information called as certain index called as CIBIL. Okay, it is the score given to the customers out of 10. Higher the CIBIL score, higher is the probability that he will get loan. Okay, so what has been done? Analyze the spending pattern from the credit cards and digital transactions. Okay, credit scoring model predict repayment likelihood, credit worthiness. Okay, and what has happened because of that? Faster approvals, reduced defaults, better customer experience, and gave the competitive edge in the fintech race. These are all very, very important impacts. Okay, right? Time has been saved because of faster approval, and faster approval is because of the analytics the company and the bank is using. The tools and the indices like CIBIL they are using. Okay, Mm, the frauds and defaults in the loan cases have reduced significantly. Customer experience is good because the approval is fast. Okay, and one because of the recommendation that SDFC issues the loan fast, so the that gives the company bank better competitive edge in the fintech race. Okay, what is the lesson? Analytics improve both efficiency and fairness, right? Decision making is no longer just intuition. Analytics framework like Simon's, Dika, and any other type of analytics provides the structure of decision making. Manager must learn to ask, what data do we need? Now, this is very important for you all MBAs. Hmm? You must learn to ask, what data do we need and how do we turn it into action? Okay, if you collect the data which is really not worthy of turning into action, not needed to or not worthy of turning into information, knowledge, wisdom, etc., then that collecting that data is doesn't make any sense, right? Now we'll be working on one or two activities. Okay, suppose say you are the CEO of the company and the dashboard show that sales dropped 20% last quarter. Okay, so I would have had you been in class, or if you are in a group, split in the group of four, right? And you have to work as per the Simon's model. First of all, identify the problem, then propose two solutions, pick one. Actually, I have written two solutions because of the scarcity of the time. Actually, you should propose as many solutions as possible, and this is done by the brainstorming activity. Okay, propose two solutions because this is an activity. Okay, if you are alone, you propose two solutions, right? Pick one of it. Okay, and the process of picking one of it should not be intuition based, it should not be gut feeling based. There has to be some analytics in between design and choice. Then implementation, state the action plan. Okay, and present in 1 2 minutes. This you can do with yourself. One or two students are there. If you are there studying, listening to this video, you can do it yourself. So, what type of analytics do you think Indian companies use? This is another activity. Use the most um, today, whether it is descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Okay, before I go on to the first activity, let me explain the answer to second. Most of the Indian companies mostly use descriptive analytics. Okay, because there is the data which is easily available. The managers in the company find themselves in comfortable position to work on descriptive analytics. It is mostly statistics you are drawing out of the data, that is the requirement of descriptive statistics. Okay, very little of the people do diagnostic. Okay, means the journey of business analytics is moving ahead along with the progress of Indian companies. Okay, the analytics they are using even lesser proportion for predictive purposes and prescriptive purposes. Okay, right? So there is a limited use of business analytics, and that is popular as far as descriptive analytics is concerned. But as you will become the part of tomorrow's management team, I hope you will be leading this journey from descriptive to prescriptive very soon, making your life happy, right? So, coming on to our activity, so we have certain data, that is weekly sales, right? And the weather condition, right? On Monday, the sales of cups of coffee is 80. It was sunny day. Tuesday, sales of coffee cup was 95 rainy day. Wednesday, 78 sunny day. Okay. Thursday, 100 rainy day. And Friday, 120 rainy day. This is the example you were supposed to take. Okay. Now, my analytics, the data is so simple that you can make out the thing from by yourself. But if the data was too long and had there been too many rows, then this thing would have been done by analytics, and we come to a conclusion that we have the data saying this is not as such the Simon's model. It is DIKW model. Okay, you may turn it into you may think of another example of Simon's model. I don't know whether I have it ahead or not, right? So data I have collected. This is the data. This is the raw data. Not as such data, because the data I will be, if I go on entering that the customer has given 5 rupees for a cup of coffee, then another customer came in, he again gave the 5 rupees, again gave 10 rupees, 20 rupees. This will be the raw data. Okay, from that I'll be drawing out the information which is drawing out the report. Again, I may call this as data, or I may further dig into it. Okay, so data is daily sales number, right? Then information is rainy days show higher sales. Okay, you are seeing that on rainy days the sale is higher, right? Then knowledge. Student drink more coffee when it rains. Actually, both the things, information and knowledge, sounds to be same. Actually, this was the information. Okay, knowledge is student drink more coffee when it rains, right? What is the wisdom? Action, decision, increase the stock and stop on rainy days because there are more students drinking coffee. Okay. And the student experience, what is the result? Student experience first hand raw data. All of you will be experiencing how the raw data transforms into action through DIKW framework, right? Then I have another activity, intuition versus data challenge. Objective, show why data backed decision often outperform gut feeling. Okay, what is the setup now? A new cafe is opening near your college. The owner wants to decide which drink to promote as their signature. Okay, should it be cold coffee, masala chai, or green tea? Okay, now I'll ask you to split in two groups or two individuals if you are just two, right? Group A is for gut feeling. I'll be calling it as the gut feeling team. Decide purely on intuition. Group B, data team, provide with the sample data. Okay. So 60%, what this Group B team's outcome is, 60% of the college students prefer cold tea. This is data. It's not intuition. Sales trends show green tea is rising 15% month on month. Okay. Masala chai sells steadily in the evening, especially in winter. Okay. So now this was the information, data, whatever you say. Now sample demo run. Group A might say most Indian like tea, so let us promote masala chai. Okay, based on the intuition, Group A has taken a decision, or they have inferred that let us promote masala chai. Group B, what they propose, they use the data. Okay, cold coffee has highest preference, as we are saying that um, 60% of the college students prefer cold coffee. So cold coffee has highest preference, but the green tea is trending upward. So the cafe could promote uh, cold coffee now while building the green tea for future. Okay, they are taking care of the trend information, because there is a trend going upwards as far as the green tea is concerned, right? Cold coffee now while building the green tea for future, right? What is the explanation? uh, Show how the team gave richer strategic answer. Student realize the intuition is limited while data provides clarity. Okay, all these examples were to impress on you that the data driven decision making is the need of the day. Okay, so here we uh, will be taking the last transparency based on the reports and studies. It seems that the Indian companies today most commonly use descriptive analytics and growing adoption for diagnostic and some predictive analytics. Uh, Prescriptive analytics is still less common. This was the answer to the second question which I asked, right? There is a growth in predictive analytics, but still represents small slice compared to descriptive and diagnostics. Okay, what that means, which type is mostly used? Descriptive analytics is most commonly used by Indian companies. It includes reporting, dashboards, KPI tracking, business intelligence. Okay, what happened, and the simple historical summaries. Diagnostic, what that includes, comes next. Most organizations go beyond just what has happened to try to understand why things happen. Root cause segments and correlations are the contents of diagnostic analytics. Predictive analytics is growing. Some firms, especially BFSI, e-commerce, telecom, are deploying predictive models for demand forecast, credit risk, churn prediction. But many firms use this in pockets, not always enterprise wide. Okay, prescriptive analytics remains relatively rare. Only more advanced or digitally maturing firms are experimenting with optimization, recommendation engine, or automated decision suggestions. Okay, why descriptive analytics dominates in India? Lower barrier to entry, and if, for example, someone wants to do use analytics, so barrier to entry is very less. Dashboards and reports are simpler to set up. The cost is lower. Legacy systems and data quality issues. Before doing predictive and prescriptive analytics, the firms need to clean the data, unify the system. That is the difficult task for many of the organization. Skill gaps is there. Fewer people who can build advanced models, easier to hire report. So fewer people who can build advanced models. Um, uh, the number of people is less. Okay, now that you are growing your skills in business analytics, in future you will be dealing with predictive and prescriptive analytics. Okay, right now there are less people with skills. On the other hand, easier to hire report descriptive analytics. Hmm. Then lastly, risk and trust. Managers often prefer to see um, certainties in the past data rather than the probabilistic forecast. Okay, so with all this background, you must have understood why the descriptive, why still we are going with descriptive analytics. But now the time is moving very fast. The need of diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics is growing very fast. So here we will be stopping for the lecture, right?